Hello again, and let's continue to break down Zelensky's interview from the 11th September to The Economist.
Russia will occupy us. And it's not the words, just that everybody can say it about the Baltic countries. No, they will occupy them. It will be the same what we said before Second World War and during. The same will be. Our friends from Baltic, they gave us all their weapons have, mostly. They gave us a lot when we are comparing what they have, because they know it better than others. They are not sure that NATO countries, NATO armies will support them. They can't be sure because nobody checked it. And that is why Putin will go. So they will divide Europe, because after the Baltic will be Poland and etc.
There is simply no evidence of any of this. If we analyze a little bit, you don't even have to go too deep. You know that the hostilities initiative has been, since the end of the Cold War, on the side of NATO. It's NATO that has been approaching Russia and not the other way around. And please, let's recall the Minsk agreements once again. Because we all know that Russia aided the Lugansk and Donetsk People's Republics militias. We all know that their survival depended on Russia's aid. And we all know that these militias inflicted heavy defeats in this conflicts 2014 and 2015 that led to the Minsk agreement. And we also know that if Russia really wanted, they had a complete upper hand on this situation. So if that was Vladimir Putin's intention, it would have been done by then. This is a very logic assumption to make, because otherwise, how can you back up this narrative of Vladimir Putin being the new Hitler and wanting to invade Europe and the Baltic countries and Poland? And there is simply no evidence for that. We all know of all the efforts that Russia made diplomatically to make a security architecture designed for Europe that served everybody's interests, of course, including Russia's. And in any of those, there were intentions of expansion. So let's put this aside then. Yeah, it's utter bullshit.
And the question will be with whom he will divide Europe. It's interesting, I think, because some of the countries will not be agree not to give their army to help NATO countries, to stay alone. I mean, somebody will not be agree. It can be the World War III. Can be.
You said to me that victory is about saving as many lives as possible. How do you balance that with the goal of getting back to 1991 borders?
That's why the counteroffensive goes such way difficult and slow, because all the brigades can go now, and I don't know how many thousands, dozens of thousands we will lose, because you will not demine, you will not think what to do. It's all not about the occupation for the occupation. It's about the occupation, but not losing a lot of lives.
It gets confused a little bit here. It's not about the occupation, but the occupation without losing a lot of lives. But he's sure that they will lose many, many thousands. So yeah, I think he's confused. But we all know how it's going on. Again, they need to keep the morale high, and they need to keep giving positive news, especially inside Ukraine society, and also to the consumption of Western audiences, so that they have justification for the support and for the degradation of the economic conditions of every country that is helping.
It's not the war when the leader of the country say no. Doesn't matter what the price. Doesn't matter what the price. Go. Tomorrow result. Doesn't matter. Like it was with the Soviet Union. It really was.
For you, it is balancing.
Balancing, always balancing.
When I met with the First Lady this week, your wife,
Balancing. No, it's not. It's sending to the slaughter, and they want to achieve results no matter what. They desperately need to cling to these victories of conquering Rabotino or Avdiivka, these completely razed small locations, just in order to say that they've achieved something. But when you look at the whole picture of the strategic map, you know this is insignificant, and this does not in any way indicates that they are on the winning side.
I asked her, because she was the scriptwriter on your show, I said, how do you write the script for this next chapter? And so I want to end by asking you the same question. Until we meet again, what is your script for the next few months, years?
When we want to meet again.
Whenever you invite me.
What is my script? I don't. The script. I have the plan. I think if I will tell you the plan, Putin will have the script, not me. I mean that it will be public, and that's why I'm not sure that I have to share. I can tell you how it can be. Yes, I can.
He doesn't want to disclose his big master plan. He has a plan. But just listen what he says next.
I want to have some decisions with the United States of some support. I want to do the first summit, political summit, called this isolation formula this year. I hope that we will open negotiations about EU this year. It will help support moral. It's also important, very important, just not to lose the moral and to give this energy for people. I think that we have all the chances to finish the war in 2024. I think Trump will...
The same way they thought they would have all the chances of reaching the Azov Sea or the Black Sea in 6 days. This is no more. No more. It's my opinion. I know I'm very far from being an expert. I'm just a working class man. A bit curious about these subjects, but this is no more than the carrot at the end of the stick to make the donkey keep running.
Never support Putin. I hope that President Biden will not change his position, including pushing from the Congress. I think that this year of so many elections, 2024, I really think that the result will not have influence on the strongness or what they want Russia. A lot of people are afraid, but I think that it will not be such way, because it's very difficult for United States for today. Really.
Pay attention to what he says next, because these are the key words. Our friend Zelensky is not as benign, such a benign figure, or as one thinks he might be, because he's an actor, he's captured the hearts of the people with this charm and everything. And of course, at the same time, he disclosed the plan. His plan is to keep leeching on Western support. But listen to what he says next.
They want Afghanistan part 2 or Europe. Do they really think that, that they are ready? They even can't imagine what will be with the society, their society. I think that all of these people will not forgive them. Will not forgive them lose Ukraine.
That's a powerful place to end. The people of Europe will not forgive their leaders if they lose Ukraine.
Yes. I think so. That's why I think that 2024 can be good moment for the end.
Okay. This goes in line with the previous statement Zelensky already made, that he would he would appeal for all the Ukrainians abroad and all the people that have been convinced to support Ukraine unconditionally. He would. He actually, this is a threat, if you read it correctly, because when he asks, "Do they want Afghanistan 2.0? Can they really take the rage of their people if they don't support Ukraine?" Yeah, this is what we are dealing with the very persuasive character. That if we don't put an end to it, this is okay. Again, my opinion, and I know this can be very unpopular, but if the lobbies that were put in place mainly by the United States immediately after the coup were put in place governing Ukraine undemocratically, we all know how they've been funding these militias, these NAZI, these Banderites. This is all fact. It's not an argue point anymore. We all know that as long as these people, these pressure groups, are working and funded and organized with the help of Western powers, mainly the United States, there is no good end to this conflict. And also Zelensky knows that, because it's its own life, its own skin is at stake here. I make this video a little bit shorter, and then I'll make a third one just to I think it would be interesting to listen to the breakdown that the Economist journalists do after this interview. It's also interesting. They touch some very good points. Again, thank you all for the patience. Don't forget to share this work and help the channel grow. We really appreciate that help. It's not about money. Channel. I mean, I'm not gonna monetize the channel or intend to. Or I'm a full-time worker, and that's how I earn my life. And this is I do it out of need for expressing and aiding making a contribution to the information space, like I said previously. Thank you sincerely all again. And also, I want to thank you, by the way, I can't forget. I had some really interesting and motivating comments from several people in the previous videos, and thank you very much for that, because sometimes I know that I can be a little bit insecure doing these solo videos. It's not I mean, it's not at all the place where I feel comfortable, but yeah, thanks a lot again for the support. And of course, if you like this video, please subscribe, follow this channel, help it grow a little bit, help it enhance its contribution in the information space. Thank you very much. Tune in for the next one.